Hey chat, we just finished season 2 of Trials. In Arc Raiders, we contested top 1000 for 2 weeks in a row, ultimately landing in Hotshot. So let's break down how it went. Let's talk about the maps. Let's talk about the arc spawns, what we learned, and let's also talk about the rewards. What makes Trials unique within Arc Raiders competitive gameplay can be the rotating challenges throughout the week that are incorporating different map conditions, and that can happen at almost any time of the day. But it feels very restrained. It makes you wonder if this is a good design if you're not able to play at the times. Dam is usually tied to Stella Montis Night Raids, which is a very popular map condition to get a lot of your trials done. So at times, Spaceport EMS is only once a day, and this really forces us to kind of choose which trials are our priority and then which trials can we hopefully get done throughout the week if we have the time and availability. Trials, each week I started to learn that arc spawns are really important, and they really are a major key deciding factor on whether you're going to get a high score, the max score, or a really good score. And that is due to, funny enough, three things that are kind of outside of our control. RNG determines whether or not the arcs are going to be spawned in at the location on time, whether the spawn timer is going to be consistent, and the respawn timer is going to be consistent. And the friction here is the spawn being blocked by player presence. If there's another raider in your area and you're that POI, then you kind of have to eliminate them as fast as possible, so you can keep your spawns as fast as possible if you want to get as much points. And then lastly, with spawn adjustments done to the maps either during the middle of the week, it creates an unfair advantage for those who's got to start trials at the top of the hour, whether they can play on Monday at 3 a.m. versus now finally starting the game at Thursday, and most of your spawns are spawning in the wall or not in the location that they usually are, which is nice for some randomness, but it feels a lot of like a lottery than anything else. Now truly, if we are going to grind 40 plus hours throughout each week just to play each map, each condition, try as many attempts to get as high as a score to stay top 1000, and from the competition that I've seen this season, I mean, we have to put in a lot of hours to try to beat the people who have the time. And with all that, I just felt like the trials content wasn't as engaging, and the content I'm referring to is the reward. A reskin. Like we need a little bit more than just a reskin. I look at inspiration from other games, Apex, Fortnite, and maybe other prestige skins from Call of Duty, and seeing that they put in a little more effort to distinct a player who's put in a lot of time. And I think that's what makes those games have such a strong fan base, is because they rewarded that. They made sure that other players knew that you were the badass raider. And within Arc right now, it just doesn't really feel like that. Daredevil is just a nice skin. Hotshot just looks like a recolor. Cantina looks like another recolor. And I don't know how they're going to add better distinction and classify each skin to make them feel way more unique than the other, but there should definitely be a progression. It should feel like when I play randoms with randoms, they see a Cantina and they're like, wow, I have somebody that knows what they're doing. They know how to play Arc Raiders, and they know the Arc way more better than I do, and I'm going to lean on that person to lead me through and navigate me back to Speranza, because they know what they're doing. They put in the time and they put in the effort, and they should be rewarded as such. With just a recolor, it's just only a recolor. I feel like they could do a little bit better on that one. Every game has its quirks, bugs, glitches, and cheaters. And while we can't get rid of cheaters fully, because cheaters will always be able to stay on top with the latest cheats, how the game developers respond to that is very important, and really shapes these live seasons, because we only have 7 weeks. So time is not on our side, and it'd be amazing when they would get these updates on point, or give us fair warning of notice that they're going to do some of these updates, because then that gives the raiders time to prepare, maybe rotate the inventory, and prioritize certain items within advance versus a complete shock and awe on the community. Cheaters had and glitch abusers had a great time when they had the infinity throwables and infinite items. They were able to duplicate snitch scanners, they were able to duplicate zip lines, they were able to duplicate trigger nades and trailblazers, and that changed the game for a while. And I didn't even know about it until like maybe the third, fourth week of that there were these exploits that people could abuse. And this is where we have to like really champion and stand behind some of your bigger streamers, because they were able to show that while some of them did do it themselves, without it being shown, the whole community would have known, and maybe the developers wouldn't have reacted to these things in a timely manner. So thank you, Peanut, because we need that. We need to know, and we need to be updated. But what should definitely be given as a fair warning is craft item changes, because a rocket hair driver a day on the last day of the trials, that's a really tough blow. I mean, I can only imagine how many people didn't get to throw wolf packs. While they're great, I mean, hey, let us know that you're gonna do that on the last day, or maybe not the last day. In all, it feels like we won the second wave. I mean, maybe this was the first wave for the new generation of Arc Raiders, but we're outside. I see it on almost every video. We're cooped out. We got Jupiters and Equalizers on every match against the Queen, against the Matriarch. The update was nice. I liked the comment. I liked the Firefly, but I don't really feel as scared of the Arc as I would respect any other enemy type in Escape for Tarkov. I hear those bosses are insanely good and cracked out their minds, and you have to respect the scavs, the PMZs, and the bears. You have to play a certain way to really navigate the map. And I would like to kind of see that type of grittiness and toughness here in Arc Raiders, because it feels like the storyline was meant for us to be struggling versus to be on the top side. Maybe there's a little too much freedom in the Arc Raiders top side at the moment, and maybe that's just me being a little bit of a hot take competitive player. But you guys let me know in the comments what you guys think about that, because I see us outside, we're cooped up. And with the rewards being a little bit lackluster, we need a little bit more distinction, so that way we can truly cherish our cantinas. They worked hard, and with them working hard, they pushed us all to try to be better players in the game. So I just want to give a shout out to the community. I've met so many new people, and I truly enjoyed playing this game. And maybe that was the biggest reward of all of this. The reward was to play with others. So I just want to give a shout out to the real ones, the ones that I got to play with, and the ones I'm gonna get to play with. You guys make this game fun, kept it engaging, and you guys tried, so I like that. Catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and see you topside. Deuces.